What if, instead of the brilliant commander who brought Europe new laws, France was led by an ideologue of hatred who changed the world through fear? What if Adolf Hitler became Emperor of France instead of Napoleon Bonaparte? Would Europe have turned into a mighty empire, or burned to ashes much earlier than we're used to thinking? In this scenario, we'll explore the full timeline of events in France's rule, but imagine that the emperor is Hitler instead of Napoleon. Sit back. It's gonna be interesting. Napoleon Bonaparte and Adolf Hitler, two of the most effective dictators of the modern era, had more in common than we often admit, even in our worst nightmares. Both were poor, lonely, socially awkward in youth, and obsessed with a singular idea. Both had phenomenal memories, could speak for hours without notes, and quote entire pages from books. And both rose to power amid the total collapse of the old system, when the people only trusted a savior with a commanding voice and iron will. Now imagine the point of divergence. On April 20th, 1769, in Ajaccio, Corsica, instead of Napoleon di Buonaparte, Adolf Hitler is born. Alternatively, imagine that on the night of November 8th to 9th, 1799, just hours before the coup of 18 Brumaire, the soul of 30-year-old artillery captain Napoleon Bonaparte leaves his body, replaced by the consciousness of a man who has already lived through the entire Third Reich, the camps, the bunkers, the late-night calls from Berlin, and carries a single obsession: Lebensraum in the East and the final solution to all questions. From November 9th, 1799, France is no longer ruled by the brilliant pragmatist Napoleon. It is ruled by the fanatic Hitler. The coup of 18 Brumaire is not bloodless. Blood flows from the very first hours. Hitler does not negotiate with Sieyès or Ducos. He storms the hall of the Council of 500 at Saint-Cloud with a pistol in his pocket and 2 battalions of grenadiers behind him. Deputies shouting "Down with the tyrant" are dragged into the courtyard and executed in groups of 50. On November 11th, 1799, the first decree is issued, on the purification of the army from racially alien elements. Officers with surnames ending in Ski, Vich, Eli, Stein, Berg, Mann, as well as mulattoes, quadroons, and creoles from the colonies are arrested and dismissed that same night. By year's end, about 8,400 people are shot. Parisians call it the French Night of the Long Knives. Gunpowder and blood scent the streets for a week. Hitler immediately proclaims himself first and sole consul for life. The Constitution of Year 8 is rewritten in 7 days and 7 nights. Elections are abolished forever. The Egyptian campaign is cancelled. Ships are repurposed for building landing barges and giant rafts for an invasion of England. Toulon becomes both a ship graveyard and a massive military factory. In spring 1800, the army of Aryan rebirth storms into Italy. The Battle of Marengo is won with unmatched brutality. All dark-haired, brown-eyed Italian prisoners are lined up and executed on the spot. By 1801, the campaigns of Ulm and Austerlitz merge into one lightning operation. After Austerlitz, Hitler takes no ransom. He orders the execution of 19,000 Austrian and Russian prisoners. In 1802, instead of the Peace of Amiens, Britain receives an ultimatum: surrender the fleet, Malta, and Gibraltar within 30 days. London refuses. Meanwhile, a secret Parisian project begins. Vergeltungswaffe 1, liquid-fueled rockets based on the principles of the future V2, conceived 140 years ahead of its time. In 1805, French Nuremberg laws are enacted. Jews must wear a yellow star, Roma a black triangle, Slavs serve in auxiliary battalions, and all racially dubious artists and scientists are expelled. In 1806, the Holy Roman Empire dissolves. Francis II abdicates under gunpoint in Pressburg. The Confederation of the Rhine is replaced with the Union of Aryan States under Parisian control. Prussia must purify itself or be erased. By 1808, Spain faces devastation. After the Madrid uprising, Hitler orders the city leveled with artillery and poison gas. Chlorine is synthesized in Paris and Lyon. By summer, 800,000 people are dead and guerrilla resistance is wiped out. In 1810, the Catholic Church is dismantled. Pope Pius VII dies in chains at Valenciennes. Bishops not swearing allegiance to positive Aryan Christianity are executed. Notre Dame becomes the temple of the destiny of the Aryan race. Its bells melted into cannons. In 1812, Hitler's army marches on Russia. 1,250,000 soldiers plus 300,000 auxiliaries from conquered nations. A railway built by 180,000 slaves carries them to Vilna. The campaign is not for territory, it is for annihilation. The Battle of Borodino destroys the Russian army completely, Kutuzov dies from artillery fire, and Moscow is deliberately burned, along with 400,000 residents. By winter, Hitler reaches Kazan and Samara, extinguishing the Russian state and executing Alexander I. By 1814, St. Petersburg falls. Hitler occupies the Winter Palace and declares it the residence of the Eastern General Government. Slavic populations are driven beyond the Urals or buried alive. Hitler initiates Program T4 across Europe. Millions of disabled, mentally ill, and asocial people are exterminated in newly built gas chambers in Paris, Lyon, Krakow, and Brussels. In 1821, Hitler dies at age 52 in the Tuileries, naming the fictional Reichsmarshal Jean-Baptiste Kleiber as his successor. By the 1830s, Europe's Jewish population is virtually eliminated. By the 1850s, Germans, Dutch, Flemings, Normans, and Scandinavians are resettled in eastern lands: Poland, Ukraine, Belarus, and the Baltics, while local populations are killed or enslaved. Wars in Asia with the Ottomans and Persia begin in the 1860s. Constantinople falls and is renamed Constantine Nord. Hagia Sophia becomes an SS stable. By the 1880s, the Reich wages war against Britain and the United States using submarines, chemical weapons, and early tanks. London falls. Washington is destroyed, and the White House burns for 3 days. By 1900, the global population plummets from famine, epidemics, and continuous cleansings. By the 1920s, the Reich controls 90% of the Earth. Guerrilla resistance persists only in the Alps, Andes, Himalayas, and Siberia. By the 1940s, the final solution aims to leave 200 to 300 million pure-blooded Aryans, annihilating everyone else. By 1970, the population drops below 800 million. Technology stagnates at 1940s levels, though nuclear weapons, ballistic missiles, and gas chambers are ubiquitous. Napoleon, for all his victims, believed in the Enlightenment, the Code, and the equality of citizens under the law. He spread education, science, and museums. Hitler, by contrast, would carry only death as goal, religion, and meaning. So thank fate, history, God, chance, or the cosmos that on August 12, 1799, it was Napoleon Bonaparte standing in the Palace of Saint-Cloud. Had Hitler been there instead, the world we know, with the internet, rock music, vaccines, space flights, and cat videos on YouTube, would not have survived even to 1850. So, according to our version, if Hitler had become Emperor of France instead of Napoleon, the world would have become an endless dystopia of war, genocide, and destruction. Civilization as we know it, with science, culture, freedom, and hope, would never have been born.